Good evening, students. Welcome to the second unit, second chapter, that is organizing. And we know what are the different functions of management. After planning, the second function is all about the organizing. Okay. So, according to George Terry, who defines this organizing as establishing the effective authority relationship amongst selected works, persons, and workplaces in order for the group to work together effectively. Okay, so organizing means what? You have to divide the total work into various groups, various functions, and you have to assign certain duty and responsibility as well as the authority to the people so that they can work together to accomplish the particular task, or the group goal is known as what? Organizing. Okay, so you should remember that apart from the authority, you have to give the particular responsibility as well as authority to the worker so that he can do the work properly. So organizing is that managerial process which seeks to define the role of each individual, that is manager and operator, towards the attainment of enterprise objective. So it is a managerial process. Who do the organizing activity? The manager. So it is a managerial process seeks to define the role of each individual. यहाँ पे हर एक वर्कर का, हर एक इंडिविजुअल का रोल होता है, उसका अथॉरिटी होता है, उसका रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होता है, ओके, एज ए मैनेजर और ऑपरेटर टुवर्ड्स द अटेनमेंट ऑफ द एंटरप्राइज ऑब्जेक्टिव. सो ऑल आर driven for the achievement of the enterprise objective, and it is the organizing which is a managerial process. Okay, then according to Allen, who defines the organizing is the process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibility and authority, and establishing relationship for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in accomplishing objective. So what is that, everybody? You have to identify the work, you have to grouping the work. Grouping the work means the total work has to be segmented, has to be divided among different groups who are specialized in performing the one type of job. Thereafter you are giving certain authority to them as well as responsibility to them, and you have to establish the relationship. Who is your boss, who is the superior, who is the subordinate, to whom you have to accountable, and all the people have to work effectively together for the accomplishment of the objective, that is known as organizing. Organizing में हम एक इंडिविजुअल क्या करता है वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, हर एक इंडिविजुअल कैसे काम करते हैं, उनका काम क्या है, उनका रोल क्या है, उनका रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है, वो कितना हद तक अकाउंटेबल है, उनका अथॉरिटी कैसा है, वो क्या करते हैं, सब मिलके कैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का और एंटरप्राइजेस का ऑब्जेक्टिव फुलफिल करते हैं, वो क्या आता है, इसमें आता है ऑर्गेनाइजिंग. Thereafter we have to discuss about the steps in the process of organizing, or the process of organizing we can say. So first and foremost important thing about the organizing step is all about division of work. In the first step, what is that? Division of the work. Division of work means the total work could be segregated into different jobs or different works. यहाँ पे टोटल वर्क क्या होता है? डिवाइड होता है. टोटल वर्क को हम डिवीजन करते हैं, एंड आफ्टर डिवाइडिंग द टोटल वर्क इनटू वेरियस ग्रुप्स, देयर आफ्टर व्हाट वी हैव टू डू? ग्रुपिंग ऑफ जॉब्स इनटू डिपार्टमेंटेशन. सो जो वर्कर जिस जॉब के लिए माहिर है, जिस जॉब के लिए वो स्पेशलाइज है, उसको उस डिपार्टमेंट में हम क्या करते हैं? ग्रुपिंग करते हैं. सपोज यू आर वेल इनफ इन रॉ मटेरियल कलेक्शन एंड पुटिंग द रॉ मटेरियल इन दिस पर्टिकुलर machine, that means you will be there in production department. Suppose you are there in accounting things, then you will be put in finance department. Suppose you are very much acquainted with selling or any kind of thing, there you have to put in marketing department. So based upon your specialization, the grouping of jobs are made into departmentation. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या किया जाता है? हर एक वर्कर का उसका फंक्शनल एरिया में कितना माहिर है, वो फिनेंस में कितना माहिर है, मार्केटिंग में कितना माहिर है, वो एचआर में कितना माहिर है, उसका स्पेशलाइज के हिसाब से उसको ग्रुपिंग किया जाता है. वो जिस फंक्शनल एरिया में जिस डिपार्टमेंट में वो माहिर है उसको हम ग्रुपिंग उसको वहाँ पे करते हैं, वो क्या है, ग्रुपिंग उसे बोलते हैं। उसके बाद क्या है, असाइनिंग ड्यूटीज। सिंपली ग्रुपिंग विल नॉट हेल्प, will not work out until unless we have to assign certain duties. We have to give duty. This is the work you have to perform. It is not enough. It is not enough for giving only duty, but also you have to establish the authority as well as responsibility. Okay, you have to give the duty. After that, you have to establish how much authority you should get, how much you are authorized. Apart from giving the authority, also there should be some responsibility should be given to the worker. So establishing authority and responsibility, here duty given, that is responsibility given. So this is your duty to perform that duty. How much or how much extent the authority will be given, so that kind of authority will be given, so that there will be establishment of what, authority and responsibility. Then delegation of authority. Delegation means what? The transfer of authority, the passage of authority from one person to another person. Usually the flow of authority from top to bottom, हमेशा जो top to bottom होता है, ऊपर से नीचे क्या होता है, authority flow करता है। कोई भी वर्कर को कोई भी टास्क दो, उसे अगर authority नहीं दोगे, उसको आप अपना पावर एज सुपीरियर मैनेजर डेलीगेट नहीं करोगे, तो वो अपना काम कभी भी नहीं कर पाएगा। इसलिए the delegation of the authority will be very much important. Until unless you will delegate the authority, he will not feel comfortable for performing his work, his responsibility. There are certain time will arise where he has to take number of decision. He should be automatic in taking the decision. That's why you have to delegate certain authority to to your subordinate or to your workers. Then there should be effective communication. So there should be understanding. What is communication? Communication is the passage of message or information from one party to another party, so that both the sender as well as receiver has to understand the same message in the same sense and in the same spirit. So that is the communication. So you have to effectively communicate with the worker. Worker तुम्हें ये काम करना है, उसको समझ में आना चाहिए। मैनेजर भी उसको समझाना चाहिए। एंड वर्कर शुड नो व्हाट हैज़ टू डू, what he has to do, and to whom he has to accountable, to whom he has to report. So there should have proper understanding or effective understanding, effective communication between the superior and subordinate, manager or workers. Then coordination of activity. All the activities of the organization has to be coordinated properly, so that there should not be any kind of duplication of the work, there should not be any kind of misinterpretation of the work, there should not be any kind of non-harmony of the things. So there should be harmony among the workers, among the manager and as well as employees or workers. So in order to have a proper harmony, you should have a better coordination of different kind of activities in the organization. अगर आपका तालमेल अच्छा नहीं रहेगा, अच्छा नहीं बन पाएगा मैनेजर और वर्कर के बीच, सो हमेशा वो क्या है, कन्फ्लिक्ट करेंगे। इसलिए ऑर्गेनाइजिंग में जो लास्ट स्टेप है, प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेट करना पड़ेगा, प्रॉपर उनको समझाना पड़ेगा, प्रॉपर तालमेल बनाना पड़ेगा, ताकि एक डुप्लीकेशन वर्क नहीं होना चाहिए, उनको सेम अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए, अच्छी तरह से अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए। सो दिस इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ व्हाट एवरीबॉडी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग। सो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग स्टार्ट्स विद डिवीजन ऑफ द वर्क। देयर इज अ टोटल वर्क विल बी देयर, देयर इज अ ग्रुप वर्क विल बी देयर, there is a task will be there. So entire big task has to be subdivided, has to be divided, and there are various groups are there based upon your specialization, based upon your function. You have to be assigned to a particular department, and you should be given certain responsibility as well as authority, and there should be a delegation of authority from your superior to the subordinate. The manager has to delegate, has to pass his authority to his subordinate, so that subordinate should take the decision in different way at different time interval. So that's why it is important for organizing of any kind of activity in the organization, as well as you have to communicate properly to the workers, so that he should have a clear understanding to whom he has to be accountable, what the exact tasks he has to do. He should have a clarity. So that's why effective communication is also coming under the process. Also you have to coordinate, the manager should coordinate among the subordinate properly the workers, so that there should not be any kind of disharmony or any kind of that is miscommunication or any kind of duplication of jobs will not arise. So this is all about the process of organizing. Now we are going to discuss about the importance of organizing. So what is the importance of this organization? What is the benefit we can say of organizing? So it benefits of specialization. So जो जिस काम में माहिर है हम उसको वो टास्क देते हैं और वो वही काम करता है without any further burden, without any further delay in the task. He is doing a particular task, so that's why we are getting the specialization. Suppose he is well good enough in marketing, then he is doing the marketing job or marketing department is concerned. If he is collection of the raw material, he is involved, he is specialized on that, then he has to do that particular job. If somebody is good in training, then he has to go for training. So this is the benefit we are getting as specialization whenever we are going for organizing. Then clarity in working relationship. You should know what is the task you have to perform. You know what is your authority. You know what is your job you are going to perform. You know your responsibility. तुम्हें पता है तुम्हारा क्या authority है, तुम्हें पता है तुम्हारा क्या responsibility है. Okay, so there should be clarity of what you are going to do, what you are not going to do. Okay, then optimum utilization of resources. Because of this organizing, all the resources are optimally utilized, whether that is human resources, whether that is material resources or any kind of other resources, that has to be utilized optimally because you are doing the organizing. Then adaptation to change. Okay, whenever any kind of organizing happen, if there is any kind of changes are going to be occur, if in the future if any kind of changes are going to be happen, the organization should be flexible enough to adapt that one. So that is known as adaptation to change. Then effective administration. Because of this organizing, the manager is having the understanding what is his job, what is his role, what is his duty, what is his responsibility. Okay, he is very much confined what is the role he has to play, what the decision he has to take, to whom he has to be accountable. So all the rules, regulation, he is having the better clarity. So that's why because of this organizing there is a effective administration. Then development of personnel. Through this organizing, the people are having lot of skills while performing the task. So that's why there is this people are participated in the decision making. So the authority is given to them also, and also there is sometime they are having the chance to take a different kind of decision. So that's why they become much more creativity, and they become much more innovative. So that's why there is a development of the personnel also, and expansion and growth. Because of this organizing, if all the criteria of this kind of things are fulfilled, ultimately there should be a expansion and growth of the organization because of this organizing. Ultimately the organization should go, ultimately the organization should expand. Then we now focusing on the next topic, principles of organizing. Okay, what are the various principles of organizing? These are the various principles of organizing. First one is principle of specialization. So principle of specialization का मतलब क्या है? जो जिस काम में माहिर है उसको वो काम देते हैं, लगातार बार बार वो काम करके उसको स्पेशलाइज मिलता है, उसे क्या बोलते हैं? प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्पेशलाइजिंग और स्पेशलाइजेशन. ओके, इफ ए पर्टिकुलर पर्सन इज डूइंग द सेम वर्क फॉर ए कंटिन्यूस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, he can do the work in a better way, he can do the work at a lesser time. So that's why what happens, specialization happen on that ground, and the cost is also effective on that ground. Then principle of functional definition. You should know what is the department or which is the department you are belonging. You should know what is the exact function you have to perform. There should be clear cut of everything. So that is known as what? Principle of functional definition. There should be clearly, there is a the principle of functional definition is the what is the function of a particular worker, to which function, which work he has to perform, that is clearly defined. So that is known as principle of functional definition. Then principle of span of control और supervision. Principle of span of control और supervision का मतलब क्या है? कितने आदमी, कितने वर्कर रहेंगे एक सुपरवाइजर के अंडर में, हाउ मेनी लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ वर्कर्स शुड वर्क अंडर ए पर्टिकुलर सुपरवाइजर, सो दैट द सुपरवाइजर शुड हैव द बेटर कंट्रोलेबिलिटी ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ सबऑर्डिनेट. कितने वर्कर, कितने सबऑर्डिनेट रहेंगे एक सुपरवाइजर के अंडर में, ताकि सुपरवाइजर अच्छी तरह उन लोगों को कंट्रोल कर सके. सो दैट मिनिमम नंबर हैज टू बी डिफाइंड. दैट इज नोन एज प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्पैन ऑफ कंट्रोल और प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सुपरविजन. देन प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्केलर चेन. Principle of scalar chain means all the workers, all the authority should flow from top to bottom, and every boss there is a subordinate is there, every superior there is subordinate is there, every subordinate there is a superior is there. हर एक superior का subordinate होता है, हर एक subordinate का superior होता है, and they are linked together like a chain. So that is known as scalar chain. Okay. Then principle of unity of command. Principle of unity of command क्या बोलता है कि एक जो वर्कर है, एक जो सबऑर्डिनेट है, वो एक ही बॉस को अकाउंटेबल रहेगा. अगर एक वर्कर दो बॉस के लिए काम करेंगे तो वो कन्फ्यूजन में रह जाएंगे. सो ये प्रिंसिपल ऑफ यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड क्या बोलता है? ए वर्कर हैज़ टू अकाउंटेबल टू वन बॉस ओनली. ए वर्कर हैज़ टू रिपोर्ट टू वन बॉस ओनली. इफ मोर देन टू बॉस विल बी देयर, BOSS, then he will be in a dilemma, he will be in a confusion to whose decision he has to take, to whom, from whom, or to whom or for whom he has to work. There should not having any kind of clarity. There should be there is a misunderstanding will arise, because if a worker can have more than one boss, then there is a confusion. So that's why a worker should be accountable. Worker should to take follow the decision or take the orders from one boss only. That is principle of unity of command. Okay, so principle of specialization, that is the first specialization. मतलब क्या है कि principle of specialization क्या बोलता है कि एक वर्क को डिवाइड कर दो और जो जिस काम में माहिर है, जो वर्कर जिस काम में स्पेशलाइज है, उसको वो काम दे दो. देन प्रिंसिपल ऑफ फंक्शनल डेफिनेशन, देयर इज क्लियरली डिफाइंड विच वर्क यू हैव टू डू, विच जॉब यू हैव टू डू. देयर इज ए क्लियरली डिफाइंड एवरीथिंग, व्हाट इज योर रोल, व्हाट इज योर जॉब. ओके. देन प्रिंसिपल स्पैन ऑफ कंट्रोल, उसका मतलब क्या है? कितने वर्कर रहेंगे एक सुपरवाइजर के अंडर में, how many maximum workers should work under a particular supervisor, so that there should be the supervisor can control to all the subordinates. So what is the number, how many number of subordinates should work under a supervisor? So if more worker will be there, then there should not having any kind of controllability. So how many number of workers should work under a supervisor? So that's why there will be a proper control to that particular workers. Then principal scalar chain. Principal scalar chain का मतलब क्या है? हर बॉस का एक सबऑर्डिनेट होगा, हर सुपीरियर का एक सबऑर्डिनेट होगा, हर सबऑर्डिनेट का एक सुपीरियर होगा, एंड आपस में वो क्या करेंगे? आपस में वो लिंक रखेंगे. ओके, एक दूसरे में वो लिंक रखेंगे लाइक ए चेन, एंड द अथॉरिटी शुड फ्लो फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम. It is known as what? The particular structure what comes, the linkage between the superior and subordinate. This a chain like structure will come, that is scalar chain. Then principle of unity of command means a worker has to receive the order from one boss only. Worker should be accountable to one boss only. If more than one boss will be there, then he will be confused. Then after we discussed already about the span of control. Span of control का मतलब क्या है? कितने number of worker, how many number of workers should work under a particular supervisor. How many number of workers should work under a supervisor? That is known as span of control. And there are two span of control. One is wide span of control, another narrow span of control. Okay, there are two span of control, that is wide span of control and narrow span of control. So wide span of control में क्या होता है? Wide span of control में the particular manager has to, okay, when a particular manager has to supervise, has to control a large group effectively, then that is known as what? Wide span of group, wide span of control. Okay, so it is one which a manager can supervise and control effectively a large group of person at one time. So what is the feature of this wide span of control? Less overhead cost of supervision, prompt response from the employees, better communication, better supervision, better coordination, suitable for repetitive job. Those workers who are doing the repetitive type of jobs, regular similar type of jobs, okay, routine type of job, if a particular manager or supervisor want to control those large number of workers suitably or effectively, then wide span of control can be suitable. So it will leads to better communication, better coordination, better we have a less cost of supervision. Okay, for that we are going for this wide span of control. Okay, यहाँ पे large group of people को, large group of person को at a time control किया जाता है. Then after the wide span of control, then narrow span of control. According to this span of control, the work and authority is divided among many subordinates, and manager does not supervise and control a very big group of people under him. So यहाँ पे जो narrow span of control है, एक big group को कंट्रोल नहीं करता है. The total work has to be divided, okay, among different subordinates. Okay, उसके बाद क्या होता है? द मैनेजर अकॉर्डिंग टू नैरो स्पान सुपरवाइज ए सिलेक्टेड नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज एट वन टाइम. ओनली ए सिलेक्टेड नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज हैज टू बी सुपरवाइज्ड by the particular manager or a supervisor. The feature is what? Work which is required tight control and supervision, for example handicraft, ivory work, etc., which require craftsmanship, their narrow span of control is much more helpful. So those work which is very much skillful, those works which where talent is needed, where require a huge talent, huge skill, so proper supervision is required. So at that time the narrow span of control is required. So here the coordination is difficult to be achieved, communication gaps can come, messages can be distorted, also specialization work can be achieved. So there are certain works like handicraft work, ivory works. For those works, okay, where it requires a lot of craftsmanship, at that time the supervisor need to have a specific control of those particular groups or those particular employees, is known as what? Narrow span of control. यहाँ पे क्या है? यहाँ पे communication gap definitely will arise, message can be distorted. If you are not skillful, if you are going for any kind of things which are not known to you, you can ask to the employee to do that, to do this, then there will be definitely message can be distorted also. Okay, so and specialization work can be achieved, the important benefit of this narrow span of control. Then what are the factors influencing the span of control? So what are the factors? First one is managerial abilities. What is the first factor that is influencing the span control? So managerial ability. Managerial ability का मतलब क्या है? कितना हद तक वो मैनेजर उसका एबिलिटी के मुताबिक कंट्रोल कर पाएगा. If he is good, he is talented, okay, if he can control large group of people, then at that time wide span of control is required, otherwise narrow span of control is required. Then competence of subordinate. If the subordinate are skillful, talented, then what kind of span of control is required? Narrow span of control is required. If the particular workers are unskilled, they are doing the same type of job, they are doing the routine type of job, then narrow span of control is suitable. Not narrow, that is wide span of control is suitable. Then nature of work, which work you are doing, whether I told the regular work or irregular work. Regular work you are doing, that is we can say wide span of control, irregular work you are doing, that is narrow span of control. Then delegation of authority. How delegation means the passage of authority, the transfer of authority from the superior to subordinate. If the organization's people are quite large and the particular manager is having good confidence among the particular employees, then he has to go for delegation of the authority, and he asks the subordinate or workers to take the decision. At that time, wide span of control is quite suitable. Then degree of decentralization. Degree of decentralization. Decentralized का मतलब क्या है? How you are allowing your employees to take the decision is important. The decision can be taken in centralized way or decentralized way. In case of decentralization, you are allowing your workers to participate in decision making. When more and more number of people will come for the decision making process, at that time the work will be effective, the span of control will be much more better. Okay, because you have the people know what they are going to do and their decision are taken as honored. So that's why this is very much important in case of span of control. At that time the wide span of control is very much suitable because of this particular aspect. So this degree of decentralization is very much important. So under the factors influencing of span of control, we discuss about the managerial ability, the competence of subordinates, वो कि important है span of control के लिए. अगर subordinate अपने आप काम करता है, उसको ज़्यादा डायरेक्शन देने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, वो ऑर्डर देने की ज़रूरत नहीं, तो हम क्या करेंगे, वाइड स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल को फॉलो करेंगे. इफ़ एनी काइंड ऑफ डायरेक्शन इज़ टू बी नीडेड, एनी काइंड ऑफ specific direction is to be needed, then at that time narrow span of control is required. If there is routine type of job, there is a wide span of control. If there is a non-routine type of job, that is a kind of, we can say, for controlling the minimum number of people or the specific employees, we can go for narrow span of control. आप कितना भरोसा दिखाते हैं अपना वर्कर के ऊपर. वर्कर अगर डिसीजन लेने में माहिर है, डिसीजन ले नहीं सकता है, तो हम वाइड स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल को बढ़ावा देंगे. इफ़ वर्कर्स आर नॉट एबल टू टेक डिसीजन, देन वी हैव टू गो फॉर the narrow span of control. Then how much extent you are giving the power to someone. If more and more power will be given to the particular workers can, if worker can perform the task much more better way, because there is a, you have to delegate is a kind of principle where the authority flows from top to bottom. If the authority will be flow, then there will be a chance that every worker should make the things to be happen. They will be very good in making decision. At that time the wide span of control is quite suitable. So this is a kind of picture. Managing director who is coming at the first, after the marketing manager is coming, after the sales or media manager is coming, after the salesman is coming. So here you see the authority flows from top to bottom. The authority flows from top to bottom. टॉप में MD है, उसके बाद मार्केटिंग मैनेजर है, उसके बाद सेल्स एंड मीडिया मैनेजर है, उसके बाद कौन है, सेल्समैन है. ये जो क्या होता है, ऑथोरिटी फ्लो करता है टॉप से बॉटम तक. ओके, सो वी कैन से द सेल्स और मीडिया मैनेजर is the superior to salesman, and marketing manager is the superior to sales and media manager, and MD is the superior to marketing manager. Okay, immediate superior and subordinate relationship arises. Okay, so whatever the task of given to the marketing manager, he has to delegate to his subordinate, and at last the particular marketing manager has to be accountable to the MD, managing director. Similarly, whatever the responsibility is given to the media manager, he should be accountable to the marketing manager. Similarly, whatever the responsibility given to the salesman, he has to be accountable to the media manager. Okay, सो यहाँ पे टाइप्स ऑफ स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल हम डिस्कस किए, जो कि वाइड स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल हो सकता है जहाँ पे लार्ज ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल को हम कंट्रोल करते हैं, लेकिन नैरो स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल में हम कम से कम जिस वर्क के लिए कुछ टैलेंट या स्किल ज़रूरत है, उस वर्क को सुपरवाइज करने के लिए स्पेसिफिक एम्प्लॉय के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, मैनेजर क्या करता है, ना नैरो स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल क्या करता है. देन वी डिस्कस अबाउट द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, वेयर वी डिस्कस अबाउट द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्पेशलाइजेशन. ओके, सो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्पेशलाइजेशन में जो जिस काम में माहिर है हम उसे काम देते हैं. एंड व्हाट एवर द फंक्शनल एरिया, व्हाट एवर द डिपार्टमेंट्स दैट इज क्लियरली डिफाइंड अंडर द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ फंक्शनल डेफिनेशन. एंड प्रिंसिपल स्पान ऑफ कंट्रोल, हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ subordinates should work under a supervisor. And scalar chain, every work, every boss there is a subordinate, every supervisor there is a supervisor, there is a subordinate, and every subordinate there is a supervisor, and they are linked with a scalar chain, that is the scalar chain principle. Then principle of unity of command means a worker has to receive the order from one boss only. Then importance of organizing, it will be helpful for the specialization. and there is a तुम क्या करना है, तुम्हें क्या नहीं करना है, तुम्हारा ऑथोरिटी कितना है, कितना रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कितना है, मैनेजर को एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव करने में, मैनेजर को रूल रेगुलेशन फ्रेम करने में, मैनेजर किसको अकाउंटेबल है, उसका क्या रोल है, ये सारे पता चलता है. और वर्कर हैज़ टू डेवलप देयर स्किल्स एंड इनोवेटिव थिंग्स which ultimately helpful for the organization to expand as well as grow. Then this is a step or the process involved in organizing, that is the total work is divided into various groups. Okay, thereafter you have to give or assign duty and responsibility, and you have to delegate the authority, so and you have to effectively communicate and coordinate the activity. Then only the organizing happens. Okay, thereafter we discuss about what the organizing definition. So this is the particular class of what organizing, where we discuss about the organizing definition. ओके, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग में क्या होता है, टोटल वर्क को डिवाइड करते हैं, वेरियस ग्रुप को देते हैं, उनका अथॉरिटी देते हैं, उसको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देते हैं, और सब मिलजुल के काम करके कैसे अब आप अपना ग्रुप ऑब्जेक्टिव, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑब्जेक्टिव, एंटरप्राइज ऑब्जेक्टिव को इफेक्टिवली अचीव करते हो, वो क्या है, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग है. ऑर्गेनाइजिंग डेफिनेशन वी डिस्कस, इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजिंग वी डिस्कस. Thereafter what we discussed, process of organizing we discussed. Thereafter we discussed the principles of organizing, we discussed about the principles of organizing, and we discussed about the types of span of control, and we discussed about the factors influencing the span of control. So this is all about today's class. Thanks for listening patiently. Thank you so much.